I'm jumping on really quickly to tell you that I am so excited that the amazing, magical, even William Whitecloud is on the podcast next week. And the reason I am so excited is because his work, and I'd say specifically his book, The Magician's Way, is a real favorite of mine. As much as I have gone very, very deep into many other magical works, magical traditions, that book in particular, The Magician's Way, really stands out even now, how many years since I first read it, as one of my favorite books on magic. And it's one that I recommend all the time. It's on my recommended reading list for clients. I think it's absolutely spectacular. And the reason I think it's absolutely spectacular is, firstly, it's written in fiction form. And I love those kind of books anyway, like Illusions. What else is that kind? Oh, the Way of the Peaceful Warrior, The Queen's Code by Alison Armstrong. I particularly enjoy books like that are teaching some really helpful principles, some really deep wisdom, but doing it in a story format. There is definitely something about the power of story that allows those things to go in at a deeper level. So that's the first reason I love it. It's written in a story form. And there is also something about the simplicity with which he illuminates the power of focus, the power of focusing on a vision in particular, and also the way that fear will kind of like pull us away and get us into our heads, get us figuring out the how. And these are such fundamental and powerful principles of, I mean, I could say magic, but let's just say life creation, actually. And they're the ones that we will be tested on over and over again because fear is so compelling. So to have this really clear understanding of that is so helpful. It's certainly been helpful for me personally to really notice the ways that I do get pulled by fear away from my vision, and then really allowing me to see how I can build that muscle of bringing myself back. So I would, if you haven't read it already, really recommend reading it, really recommend listening to the show next week. And if you have already read it, I would also still recommend you listen to the show last week, because I often find that when I get the authors of some of my favorite books on the show, I'm like super duper excited about doing that. And then sometimes I'm a little disappointed, not by them, but by the fact that because they're my favorites, I know their work so well. I get on the episode with them, and I don't have that sort of freshness and curiosity that usually I'd have if it's someone new to me. So it's not to say they're all like that, but I've noticed sometimes I kind of have all this excitement to speak to them, and then I'm actually like, I don't really know what to explore that I don't already know. So the show may well be good for listeners, but it's not quite so much fun for me. Anyway, with William, that wasn't the case. We actually got the chance to really go deep into aspects I'd seen him talk about in his books before, but hearing him talk about the really incredible, almost miraculous, in fact, I say almost miraculous, I think you could just say miraculous power that focus has had on his life. He told the story of going from being incredibly ill, death's door even, to miraculously recovering. And as far as he's concerned, that very much looks like to him that it was down to a change in focus. So I'm not going to say more. I'm going to hold back and let you listen to that next week. But yeah, we got into that, talked about the difference between intuition, perception, so some really juicy things. So even if you have read his books, I think you're going to get something out of listening to the episode too. It was also quite funny in places. William is just a real laugh, and there's one thing in particular. I might see if the team can edit a little snippet together of him. Well, I'll let you be the judge of it. He talks about someone having a lockdown body. The jury is still out on whether he was referring to himself or me, but I'll see if we can share a little snippet of that. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that was coming and encourage you to listen to it. And also, again, go read his book if you haven't already. You will not be disappointed. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye bye.